Hey everyone, welcome to another video review. This is the Transformers Legacy Commander Class Motormaster. You can see him there in front of his box. We'll go ahead and roll him off to the side real quick because we're going to look at this box. And yeah, it is a fairly large box, kind of a little maybe too big for the toy, but you know, standard size boxes and all that stuff. You got Transformers and Motormaster barreling down the highway, and you got some Stunticons here. You go, look, Dragstrip and Wild Rider, and hey, look, Breakdown way up there. Yeah, you can see Takar 2, Many Generations, all that stuff, and yeah, Decepticon Motormaster, and on top you have a picture of Motormaster. A straight piece of cardboard. On the side here, hey look, it's a Menasor, and you know, shooting that stuff and whatnot. On this side you have the line wide artwork, at least half of it. Down this side you have, well, copyrights and stuff. And on this side you have product shots. Yes, he can turn into this most of the framework for Menasor, and showing you how to attach Dragstrip and Wild Rider there in the base mode, and yeah, all that stuff. Lots of things going on here with this one. It comes with the instructions, which are mostly okay. I think there's a couple spots where it doesn't make it clear what you're supposed to do, particularly you couldn't go into the base mode and whatnot, but they're mostly fine. You can figure it out, at least. Anyway. Motormaster. And he's packaged in his truck mode, so we get to start here. Hooray. Yeah, in Motormaster, you can see here, he is a black and purple semi-truck with a gray trailer with some purple on it. And you can see there is nice shiny black. It has a Decepticon symbol there, nice purple windows, silver grille, some detailing showing the doors and headlights, and silver bumper, silver wheels, all that stuff. You got some purple up here, some tech detailing as well. You can see a bit of Motormaster hanging out there. You can see black of the trailer, but not too bad. Yeah, the trailer you see gray, rigid. Got purple Decepticon symbol, all that stuff there. You got lines out there. On the bottom you got stuff kind of peeking out, all that stuff. Oh yeah, you got a Motormaster's head just chilling out right there. And yeah, on the back you have all purple and gray and white. Yeah, you can see it all separates because it needs to for the transformation, but it does mostly peg in securely. Just sometimes come apart a little easy if lifting up in the air like a doofus and rather rolling around. And yeah, it does, speaking of roll around, pretty decently. I also got a nice boxy, weighty trailer here. It's packed with stuff, so which is nice. So yeah, really nice little oop, I squeeze that too hard. Yeah, don't squeeze things too hard. Yeah, it's a nice weighty truck, I guess. The only thing is, yeah, you notice the trailer is a bit on the short side, a bit stubby looking. Some people aren't really fans of that. The DNA has already announced a kit to make it longer and also do a whole bunch of other stuff, which is one of those kits I'm looking at, I'm hemming and hawing whether or not I really want it, because there's some parts of it I like, but some parts I don't really care about, that sort of thing. So anyway, the one thing I would say, a couple things. Number one, if it would actually unpeg. The wheels here, coming out of the box, you can see something, particularly on this side, you can see the wheels can be a little warbled sometimes. Apparently it's a common issue with these little panels the wheels are on. It's kind of a softer plastic, so it tends to be a little warped. Easy to fix with some heat and patience. And this is also an easy way to tell if your plastic's yellowing or not, and so far mine has not. That's another thing. And people are, yeah, because that's a big thing, is Motormaster's been yellowing out of the box. Some of them are. Seems to be dependent on what batch number, which, by the way, if you want to know the batch number, it'll be stamped right there. You can see that. Mine is 21171. This apparently so far has been a clean batch. No issues with it. So just an FYI on that. But yeah, so different batches apparently have different amounts of yellowing. So far my batch has been mostly clean. So there you go. I haven't talked about the yellowing, I know, but that's because I haven't had an opportunity to, because of, well, I haven't really experienced it yet. Well, except for one figure, and I'll figure out how to talk about that. Yeah. Quick comparison, I guess. Here he is with his teammate, Dragstrip. Yeah, so far. Yeah, I don't have Wild Rider yet. I know he's out as of now. I haven't found him yet, so and I'm still waiting on my period to be fulfilled. So yeah, here's Wild Rider or Dragstrip. Yeah, you can see it's actually pretty close to scale. If that's the driver sits of this guy, I mean that kind of lines up with this truck. Maybe the car itself might be too big, but it kind of seems to work. Because, well, the weird thing here with these guys, here he is with Earthrise Optimus, and you guys see bit of a larger truck, significantly larger truck there. In general, the trailer's almost the same length, but yeah, it's a significantly larger truck overall, so even, yeah, just in general. And here he is with the Combiner Wars, which, funny enough, the truck cabs are actually roughly the same, so it makes me wonder. Is there a... I'm curious. No, there's no, dang. There's no, there's little lines there, so you can't actually make it hitch up, unfortunately. You can do about that, and that's about it. So, just, if you want to know, yeah. Yeah, the thing is, there's little notches there, so you can't really, unfortunately, you can't have the him hitch. But yeah, you can see the truck cabs are roughly in scale with each other, so that's kind of interesting. And yeah, if you want to compare to any general generation scale, here he is with the Fans Project's Diesel, their version of a Motormaster, which, yeah, noticeably smaller truck, but it is a longer trailer, absurdly long trailer, to be honest, and also no bending whatsoever. Yeah, this one can actually, you know, bend pretty freely. It doesn't actually have any real limitations. There's nothing bangs into each other. It can do quite a bit there, which is nice. So that's the thing. Yeah, pretty solid truck mode. Maybe the trailer's a bit short for some taste, but I personally don't mind it too much. But I mean, it might bother some people, and there will be a fix coming soon, I guess. And he's a good size, and he's good, nice and weighty. But yeah, next one getting transformed. We're going to go ahead and start with the cab here, because why not? That's off to the side for now. Now the cab. First thing you want to do actually is go ahead up here and kind of untab these parts. And these parts can also, when you're going to truck mode, there's little things here supposed to peg into these little rivet things. So make sure when you have the legs transform, make sure these parts are sticking up where the rivet, you can see the head of the rivet. Make sure that's sticking up, because that will then allow this to actually peg in properly, so it all nice and stays not flush rather than having a weird thing. But yeah, go ahead and unpeg those and bring these out like that. Then you can go ahead and untab these bits right here. Just get those ready to go. Just untab that. And then you can go ahead and untab the top here. Yeah, bring those up and out, and they go in pretty secure. Which lets you then untab the... Yeah, untab these from each other. And then you're going to untab this part too. Untap from the side. And then you can bring this down like that. Bring this down like that. And this part right here, this can come down. This will tab into the front right there. So, tab in the front like that. So, back here, what you want to do is take this, flip this out like that, move this out, or in, I should say. Collapse the wheel in, spin this around right there, and then close it back up. And also, I want to recommend when you go back to truck, to make this easier to get the wheel out when you're trying to go back to track, just go ahead and untab that and then bring the wheel out and then tab it back in. It makes things a little easier. So yeah, just FYI. So you can do that. And then make sure to bring the leg all the way forward too, as well. And then what you want to do here is take this and collapse that in, tab that in, close that up like that. And then go ahead right here, what you go ahead is tab this in, tab those together, bring this down, and then this will come down, and this will tab in right here on the side of the leg like that. And that's one leg done. Do things, same thing on this side. Make sure that this is all the way forward. Bring this out, collapse the wheel up into the foot, rotate this around, bring that forward, bring this around, tab that in, and then go ahead and bring this down, tab this in, and then tab this into the side of the leg, and that's the lower body done. Up here, what I want to do is take these white pieces, the shoulder pieces, and you want to bring them around, and they're on this hinge. This will tab in down here. It's been reported that this hinge right here tends to crack. Mine has not cracked yet, but I noticed apparently on some of these are really tight. I don't know exactly what to do. Maybe put a little bit of shock oil in here. Maybe shave this right here as well, this white bit. Maybe shave that down. That might help. Apparently some of these are really tight, which causes it to eventually crack from stress. So just when I would recommend very much, you know, rather than just using the arm as leverage, just make sure to have like support it, you know, as much as you can when you bring it down, so you don't have too much stress on it. Yeah. Bring this around and tab that in. Go ahead and bring the arms down, like so. And then this, what you want to do is make sure the head is straight on. Then bring this around, bring this up, and then bring it like that. And go ahead and bring this over the shoulders, and this will tab into the back like that. Give it a little backpack. Then here you want to go ahead and open these bottom panels, flip out the fists. They'll come out. Flip up the fists. Close the panel up. Again, same with this side. Open that up. Flip out the fist. Close it up. And there you go. There's a Motormaster in his robot mode. And yeah, this is actually a pretty good looking Motormaster. I mean, they're even able to do the whole thing where they're able to cheat, you know, the whole thing with, like, you know, now that he has a tapering waist, despite the fact it should be super boxy and whatnot. And you can see his big old square domed head and purple face. I think it's darker purple eyes. You got the purple there and the black and gray, and got the white arms and black and purple and silver, and the fake truck feet. Yeah, it's a thing. They did it. They did it. I'm quite pleased with that, actually. It's always one of those weird things. I'm kind of okay with that one. And he's got a bit of a backpack, but nothing too bad. It doesn't stick out too much, and he's just pretty much just all black back here. Yeah. I think it's a pretty darn good looking Motormaster overall. I think it captures a lot of the things about Motormaster that looks pretty great. I just really like this thing, how he looks, honestly. Stands pretty well and all that stuff. He can stand like that, and yeah. Just got nice detail. He's got a nice solidity to him. And all that. The thing is that, you know, see, I'm not talking about the weapons yet because, well, it's all in the trailer. Because you have to start transforming the trailer into the base mode to get access to the weapons or whatever. You at least have to start taking it apart. So, might as well do that now, right? Yeah, so real quick, let's put him all the way off the side. It's the trailer. To transform the trailer into the base mode, first thing is you want to go ahead and, actually, one thing I want to real quick before that, is this little thing right here. So, if you don't want to transform the trailer, you can just have it standing like that. This thing's, the hinge on this is a little weak, so it doesn't take much for it to, do that. But, as long as you know, be careful, it will stand, but yeah, that's a thing. Just an FYI that. So, first things first is, you can separate, like they just pull that apart right there. That's one accessory, is the sword. Got that sword right there. You can go ahead and, give that to him. Give him his sword. Right there, which is nice. It goes in. And yeah, so you got some of the trailer's bits, and the other accessory, before you do the transfer, you pull that part apart, pull those parts apart, and then you can pull these parts apart. And they're all just lots of pegs and stuff. And then you got a little gun here, which you can unfold this, and you have a gun. Which again, it's got two handles. You can just peg either one of them to his hand. Now he has a gun, which is a bit large. Can't hold it super well because weight distribution becomes an issue at that point. But I guess you can kind of hold it. But yeah, since we're already doing this part. Anyway, this front part, what you want to do here is separate that, bring those out. And then separate these pieces and probably come undone at that point. You got these parts done, right? This, you want to go ahead and bring this all down and make sure to undo this part too. Bring this all down and, there we go. On this hinge, and then this will all peg together like that. And then bring this down too. That's what it was, yeah. Bring this down and peg this together too. And then this little tower thing. This you want to go ahead and take those ratchets and straighten those out. Those nice and loud. Fold that down like that, and then up here you want to go ahead and rotate this around like so. Right. Then this part you want to go ahead and again split these apart. so. And then right here, you want to go ahead and right here, just angle that like that. And same thing on this side. Angle that like that. And then that. And these you want to just go ahead and open that up and bring the foot out. And same thing on this side. Open that up and bring the foot out. So, to put the base mode, assemble right there. Take this part, rotate it upside down. This right here, you want these wheels facing forward, and these pegs will go in these peg holes right here, like that. Like that. And this right here will go, this peg will go into this peg hole right here. Like that. So, and you want to take this whole thing and rotate it all the way around like that. And that gives you a nice standing base. And from there you want to go ahead and, which side is which? Does it matter? I'm not sure how much it matters. This is the right, so yeah. This right here, this peg hole, there's a peg right here, that's right, and there's a peg hole right there. And just peg that in like that. Same thing on this side, peg it in like that. And then you want to take this tower here. You want to take the gun and take it out of his hand. And take the gun here. You want to take these, move those out. And there's a peg hole here and a peg here. Like that. And then you flip this up a bit like that. And then there, right here, these tabs right here. There's slots in there. And you just go ahead and slot this back into that. Might be a bit tricky, because sometimes it's really hard to actually see the slots because of the black plastic, but it's doable. And there you go. And then ta-da, you have base mode, which not too bad, honestly. It's like a little weird looking. I mean, that's kind of, all things considered, it's nice that it does a base mode. I've seen some fan modes which actually are pretty good looking, but yeah, you can, you know, I guess you can stand them up here, man the turret like so, you know. I'm gonna take the sword out of his hand real quick. Okay, command the turret here, like so. You know, grab it with his hand. There we go. You know, you can man the turret. I guess this might look like a viewfinder. That's the whole thing. Yeah, it's not bad, honestly. It actually works pretty well as a base mode, I feel. The sword here, there's peg holes on it, so I just find a peg and stick it on. Yeah, just find the peg and stick it on somewhere. It'll fit. Or I guess you could have it pointing forward like that. Maybe those are too small. Yeah, it's not a bad base mode, honestly. It's probably one I'll never use, but it's not bad. Anyway, I'm gonna take this off the base and put the base off to the side as soon as I can get, there we go. Put that base mode off to the side there. Yeah. So, Motormaster himself, his articulation head is on a swivel, I think. If it's on a ball joint, it's a useless ball joint because his head shape doesn't really allow it up and down or anything. But he has left and right swivel. A little looser than I like, but not the end of the world. Shoulders can go full 360 right there. It's going to bang in the backpack a little bit. Nothing too big of a deal. Outward, they go pretty far. You got a bicep swivel. As you can see, there is a 90-degree elbow bend. His wrists, in fact, can swivel. Also, because he's got a sword and he's got the transformation hinge, if you are willing to, you can untab that and then you can angle the hand a bit, which is always nice for sword poses. Waist swivel, which is nice. You got actually ratcheted hips. It's a bit of a softer ratchet, and I just untabbed that, but yeah, it's ratcheted hips, forward and back. No ab crunch though. Outward, softer, even softer ratchet still, which can go way outward. You can do real high kicks this way. You got a thigh swivel. Knees can bend that far and then that far. Yeah, he's got pretty good curl there. And I guess you can use the transformation joint as well if you want to adjust the leg a bit. But yeah, got a pretty good curl there. Well, that's just transformed it. And then ankles, pretty deep ankle tilt. You would have side to side, I guess, but not really. If you want to, you use the transformation joint here as a toe joint, which might work in some poses, you know. Yeah, that's a thing. And yeah, that's his posability. Pretty darn good overall. Nothing amazing, but a pretty darn posability. Now, comparisons real quick. First, here he is with a drag strip. His teammate, underling, whatever you want to call him. Here he is with Earthrise Optimus, who is a bit taller. He is a bit taller, but not by much, as you can see. Here he is with the Combiner Wars version, which is significantly taller, but also simpler. Much simpler. And here he is with the Fans Project version, which doesn't stand very well. And also, it's a bit to be desired, to be honest. Yeah, the Fans Project robot mode here never was the greatest looker, to be honest, but and also didn't like to stand, but hey, there you go, bigger, but yeah. So anyway, that's the robot mode. So we're gonna go ahead and do the combined mode. Yeah, we're doing Menasor, the transformation. So get that out of his hand. Now, first things first, here you want to kick the hands here and open those flaps and tuck them away. Like that. Open that up. Close it up. Tuck that away, all that stuff, close all that stuff. So from there, you want to go ahead and take the backpack here and then untab that and bring that forward and around. You want to go ahead and then kind of flatten against the chest like that. Back here, you want to go ahead and open this up, which will bring the head with it. And there's the Menasor head. It's on a double hinge. So what you want to do is kind of get it angled up so you can kind of get grip on it and bring it up and just leave it up like that. Fold the Motormaster head inside and then close it in there like there, and then bring this down over top. It will tab in and lock it in place. Go ahead and bring the antenna up like that. Then you want to go ahead and dig the arms here and kind of fold them back like this again way. There's an extra hinge right here. You want to take this whole thing and move this up like that. And move these up like that, and then bring the arms around, rotate, and bring them down. And there's a peg here which will go in the little hole here like that. Same thing on this side. Bring this arm up. Bring the shoulder joint forward like this. Bring the arm around, rotate at the bicep, bring this down, and then go ahead and peg it in right here. Like that. Just make sure it's nice and squared away back there. From here, I'm going to go ahead and rotate the waist 180 like that. And then rotate the legs inward like this. Right? Then over here, you want to go ahead and open up this hinge. And then collapse the leg into there, but you also want to get enough room so you can close this back up, right? And then bring the leg up. This slot, this tab right here, we're going to this slot right there, like that. Same thing on this side. Open that up. Collapse this up in there, close that up over the leg, and bring this up, and then this tab will go into this slot right here on the side. Like that. It's a very nice solid click. Then you go ahead and untab these and bring them down into the center like this and tab them like that. And this part right here, you want to go ahead and untab this and bring this down. This will tab into this slot right here, like that. And there you go. That's Motormaster all ready to go for combined mode, more or less. Go ahead and put that off to the side because now we got to take this stuff apart. The feet here, make sure you got them right. Yeah, this is left and right. Right here, this is pretty simple. Just go ahead and bring those up and tab those in. Just bring those up and tab those in like that. And that's the shins ready to go. I'm gonna take this part's not necessary for the Motormaster. Go ahead and unpeg these though. Right here, go ahead and rotate. We'll go ahead and rotate the waist around 180, bring this down. And then this right here, you can go ahead and, well, that you can just go ahead and line that up and bring that in. Bring this in. And I'm gonna bring the camera up. Right. That's one part. Then right here, what you're going to go ahead and do is take Motormaster here. This tab right here will go in that slot, and these will go into these big old pegs. Will go into these big old peg holes. Line that all up and bring that in. And this thing will help. This peg will here go up into a peg hole right there, like that, to help lock into place. These right here, take these gray panels and flip them up over like that. And then right here, what you want to do is take these panels on the side, collapse them down and into each other like that, accordion, like that. Take the fist here and rotate this around and click that into place. Untap the wheel here and then take these and extend those out like that, and then you collapse that in. And then this will slot over top like this and click into place. Same thing on this side. Go and straighten all of that out. Then take the panels and accordion them to the side right here. Pull this down, untap this, and then go ahead and untap this stuff and bring it out. Straighten that out, and then go ahead and collapse that in, and then bring this down, and there you go. You got Menasor, or at least the framework of Menasor. And yeah, he's a pretty big guy. I'm not going to do a full thing right here. You can see that, yeah, it looks a bit more like a cartoon Menasor. Hasbro took a bit of an inspiration here. I'm not going to go super in depth. I want to cover more when do the full combine when everyone's out. But yeah, he does have a decent amount of articulation. You know, the left and right. You got ratchets and nice ratchets there, like even ratchets to the wrists, and there's no ratchet at the waist. But yeah, ratchets everywhere. Only thing that doesn't have ratchet is the head and the waist, which is kind of weird. There's definitely some cool things going on here. Besides this, of course, he can still hold his sword, although now it's a bit shrimpy. Unfortunately, it's more of a dagger or whatever. Cool thing, yeah, he can still, of course, hold the gun as well. That's not a problem. The only thing is, yeah, you got this extra piece here, which they show in the instructions of just kind of like, oh yeah, just kind of, yeah, you can still do the thing with the holding in. It's like, eh. But what I found is, I find it to be cool. Let's see if I remember how to do it. Let's see, if you want, right, I found that what you can do here is peg this together like this, and then yeah, take one of the these things and put in his hand, and let's get a bit of a shoulder mounted thing going on. Kind of hooks around nice too. Then you can have a bit of a shoulder mounted gun if you want, which I do not mind that. It's something like, it's not in the instruction at all, but I think it works pretty well. There's again there's the kit, which is going to make that more of a thing, but I think that works pretty well as like a shoulder mounted cannon thing. Ooh, hi. So yeah, real quick though, one thing I really want to show off here, I can't show off the leg part yet, but When you attach the cars there, they'll attach here and they'll close that up, which I think that's pretty neat. They'll close those attach to close that up. But yeah, you got drag strip here, and to attach him, I'm gonna have to take this back off because of how it transforms. And that's one thing is the arms attach real good. But yeah, to attach him, you have to transform this back. Let me move that up. You have to transform it back to this, at least this configuration, right? And it is different for each side too. So anyway, you take this thing, and this will just peg on right here like this, right? And this is so cool. So now you peg on, and then you just go ahead and this is where you go ahead and separate the thing out. At least it's supposed to. Now it's being stubborn because it's on camera. Because of course it is. Of course, now it's being... There we go. Yeah, but you separate that out. Never had that much trouble before, ever, because of course camera. You can now separate it out. And, yeah, it just comes apart. It's so simple because it's literally just a tab going into a slot on the car, which then disengages things so then it can separate. But it's so simple and so clever. I can't help being impressed because no one else has thought of it. Hasbro and Takara thought of that, and it works. Now it's, it's attached like it was in the cartoon, and you still have a functioning elbow. It's not hanging off at a weird angle or anything. It works. I love that. That's so simple, and it's so clever. I love how that works. It's just plop it on, separate. And like all the other Menasors are you have to separate them manually and transform them, and it's I remember with my Magic Square one and all that stuff, right? But yeah, it's just easy. You just plop it on and separate it, no problem. And if you really want to, you go all full G1, just leave it, without the elbow if you really want to. So that's a cool thing in itself. And the other thing is, you may have noticed the connectors for the legs here look a bit familiar. Those look a lot like Combiner Wars ports, and they kind of are. So he is technically compatible with Combiner Wars. However, the thing is, they're very much adamant that it's not very stable. And so yeah, we got some Combiner Wars guys here, and it does fit. You can see it doesn't lock in though, is the thing. And on top of that, it will make him shorter. It's not stable. It doesn't lock in. It's not stable or it doesn't lock in or anything, but it does kind of work. It just doesn't work super well, but you can do that. It just makes him look kind of stumpy. Not sure what that comes across, but he's now kind of stumpy looking. You can see how much taller the you can see with this, yeah, see with this guy here, just how much taller the peg is now. You can also see he's already coming out. It's not very good. It works, but it's not very good. It's I guess cross compatibility, but that's not exactly. It's kind of neat that it still works, but for me personally, I'm never gonna ever use that outside of this showing it off here. So yay! These actually slot in and more or less lock, and they make him taller and. Yeah, because this is going to be taller than the Combiner Wars version in the end. I'm not going to show off the full comparisons for the combined mode until, I have all 5 guys. So, yeah, just know that. I'm not going to show it off till they're all here and ready to go. I just want to do that in one go, particularly because the different Menasors or different Motormasters all are different, and they all combine for so vastly differently that it's kind of hard to make a real good, actual useful comparison. As it is, yeah, it's pretty good. Again, I'll go more detail when we do the full combined thing, but I do genuinely like how this turned out. I'm not really a fan of the cartoon look, but I think they stylized them enough and did some clever things to make me win me over. This is really nice, I think, overall, and big and chunky, and yeah, even without the limb bots, you don't really You have a full bipedal robot, even if he's got holes in him. But of course, there's already people making kits, so you don't even have to buy the remaining Stunticons if you don't want to. Because we're weird like that. I want my Transformer to not have to transform. Okay. Yeah, I think it transforms well overall. Like, not very clever transformation, even at all the parts forming. You know, nice base mode, decent base mode. You know, good truck mode, good robot mode, good combined mode. It just looks real nice. I really do appreciate this. The only thing is, I wish they left the way to swap the legs around so you could have it. You know, have the car modes facing like this and still retain the knee. Because as it is, hey, look, now we're stuck with no knee, or at least no correct facing knee, which kind of stinks. So, yeah. And again, I'll get into more detail when, I'll go more into the combined mode when I get all the parts and do the combined mode video. But yeah. So Motormaster, he is $90. He is a commander class. I think he's worth that money. He's a nice solid figure. The transformation is pretty clever. The base mode's actually pretty solid, so the trailer can actually do something if you're not interested in Menasor. The base figure of Motormaster is pretty good. It's all pretty good. It's got some really clever tricks, particularly if you're going to do the combined mode. The only thing to watch out for is the yellowing. Make sure wherever you buy it from has a good return policy. I'll just say that just in case you get a bad one. Although I'm hearing apparently tooth whitening might help. So if you try and if it doesn't work, don't blame me. But I'm just saying, throwing it out there, might actually do something. I want to test it myself because I did find that one figure does have a bit of yellowing on it. So I want to see. Yeah, that's it for this one. I think he's great and a lot better than the Combiner Wars version. As an individual figure, definitely better than the Fans Project, but as a combined mode, well, I'll get into that later. But yeah, I think it's worth it, and I do recommend picking him up if you can. Again, make sure the store you're buying from is a good return policy, so just in case you encounter the yellowing. But if you can find a clean one, it's, I think, a solid figure overall. And of course, there's that whole thing with the rear wheels on the truck not exactly staying straight, but that's easy to fix. So, yeah, I hope you found this video informative and entertaining. I hope you like, comment, subscribe. Check out my Twitter. I'm at Nemesis Prime 1, and check out my Coffee and Patreon. And I shall see you next time with another video review.